What's up, y'all? It's your boy Techychriss here today, and today I have something very special for you guys. Today we are going to be doing a podcast with my boy Wali, Network Engineering. You can see him right here. So with this video today, guys, we're just going to kind of go over what network engineering is, kind of give you guys a little bit of our background and kind of just help you guys have a better understanding and maybe give you a path to how you're going to become a network engineer this year. So guys, I hope you all enjoy the video and just stay tuned for something great. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on, Chris?
What's up, boss?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Finally in the flesh, though, right?
I know.
It's crazy, man. I used to watch your stuff, bro, for a while.
Man, you know, I used to watch your stuff too.
it's crazy that I see you now in person. So,
guys, welcome to Tech Talks with Wali and Chris. Today, I got my boy Wali here. He is another network engineer, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with the face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Today on this podcast, our plan is to come here and give you guys the real sauce about network engineering. Let you guys know a little bit about what we do as network engineers, let you guys know a little bit about the background, and kind of just honestly answer a lot of questions that you guys have about network engineering. Because, you know, we read the comments. You guys might not think we read the comments, but we read the comments.
We do.
So, yeah, we're here to give you guys the real and hopefully answer a lot of the questions. So,
yes, sir. I mean, wait, just like Chris said it, we're here to give you the real sauce. Like, I know a lot of times people hear a lot of fluff about network engineering. You know, theory, we're trying to give you the real sauce, you know, our stories, how we got in. And it's really to inspire you guys as well, because I know you guys, maybe you guys are trying to get into network engineering. Maybe you guys never even heard of it. I mean, we're trying to just give you the sauce, tell you exactly what we do. You know, and just like keep it conversational. So yes, I mean, let's get it started, man. I think we're in it. You know, I'm actually going to Africa very soon.
where?
Somalia. And Kenya.
And Kenya is lit too.
You know, I hit up an ISP there.
Really?
To shoot like a documentary and like an interview with one of the execs. I hit up the media team.
How they got back to you?
They got back to me. They said, yo, we like what you're doing. I'm talking with like some people. We may set it up. So
that's what's up.
Bro, I'm excited for that, man.
That's actually that's really tough.
Yeah, because like, bro, the way they do their stuff is different.
Yeah.
Than how because like their ISP is like, it's like their money. You know what I'm saying? Like your phone number is your wallet.
Yeah.
Like I can just text you money right now, not like Apple Pay, but I can text you, like, yo, whatever your number is, and then add like some code, boom,
money. You
got your money there. Your bank account is your phone number.
How'd you figure this out?
No, I mean, a lot of my cousins, they tell me.
Okay.
I speak to them all the time. So yeah.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's crazy. The way they do it. I hear
Kenya is also really like. Is the company in Kenya or is it?
No, it's only in Somalia.
In Somalia, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would hit though, right?
100%, bro.
Yeah, like
100%.
Should I shoot like a documentary where I kind of like cover everything?
I feel like that.
Or should I do like an interview with them?
Like how long? Well, I feel like you could kind of break it up. I don't know how you feel about that. Like maybe you have one that's an interview and have another that's like kind of just a documentary.
Yeah.
That might be good.
I wish they could show me like their back end, like their data centers and their because they have fiber internet.
They probably could, bro. They probably could, unless they're like classified stuff. But I don't know.
Man, we don't see, man.
Yeah,
it's because I was like, if I'm going there, let me just hit them up just to see.
Yeah, no, that's what's up.
Crazy that they got back to me.
You were already planning to go there?
I mean, I was already going there. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna see family. My parents are there right now. They're
okay. Oh, do they live there or are they?
No, they just there temporarily for like a couple months. Okay. My dad just retired, so then they're like, yeah, let me just go to Africa.
That's how it is though. We always just go back.
Yeah.
Just to go visit and stuff. Yeah, no, that's.
Have you been back ever since to Cameroon?
I've been. Last time I went was in 2017.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't been back since 2011.
2011. Okay.
So I'm like, I need to go back.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have a good time. I feel like it's always just a good time just to go back and just see how stuff are. Just
everything.
It's a different environment.
It changes there.
Environment. Yeah. I'm supposed to go back to Cameroon next March. Ideally, that's the plan if everything goes well. I was supposed to go this December, but that fell through. So we're probably me and my dad are trying to go next March.
Next March?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that should go through. Hopefully that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a big ass airport here. So
you thought it was pretty big,
bro. The airport was huge, bro.
Bro, that's crazy because when like obviously that's the airport I always go to, so I'm like it's regular. But then I go to other cities. Like I was just in Michigan last week, and I wasn't in Detroit. I was in Grand Rapids, which is a smaller town, but it's still a major city to them. They say, and the airport was small as hell. Like,
for real?
Really small, bro. It bro. In total, it was like 10 gates at the whole airport. And I thought that was really small.
That's good though, because you could just walk in.
Yeah, pretty
you do
much.
Your thing, you
it
get
was
out.
No trouble, no traffic in there. It was just smooth sailing. But yeah, it was small, bro. It was small, and they considered that to be a major city. Like, I was surprised. I never heard of Grand Rapids. Have you heard of Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, honestly, I never really heard of Grand Rapids until like my team. Like, we had a little team meeting out there.
So it was like kind of work trip.
It was a work trip. Yeah, it was a work trip.
Because you'll never go there.
I would never just go there. I think I told you, like, we're doing my company is doing a little expansion right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're acquiring like 30 sites right now and doing this little expansion, and so we've been going site to site, and it's about to really ramp up lately. Like, right now we're kind of in the beginning stages, just staging devices, getting everything ready. But we had a little team meeting to discuss some stuff, and yeah, so that's really why only reason I went to Grand Rapids. I would never go to Grand Rapids just to go.
Boring, right? Yeah. Nothing else there.
Yeah, they had some nice lakes over there though. We went to a lake, had a good time on the lake and stuff.
Yeah. I've never gone on a work trip.
Never gone on a work trip.
I've never.
But you've been majority remote, right? So
I worked hybrid in my first position.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, originally, bro, when I first started that company at Spectrum, remember during the Omicron variant?
What?
Remember with COVID,
that
one variant that like
the other variant.
Yeah. So then like they said, hey, everyone got to work remote.
Yeah.
So my first like week, I was in the office, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said everyone remote. So then for the first like 2 months, I was just fully remote. But my manager got promoted, so he was gone. So there was no manager.
No manager.
And I was remote temporarily, but I wasn't supposed to be remote. But you know, when you're new, you're not supposed to be remote technically. Yeah. But I mean, at that point, like I had no choice. So I wasn't doing anything for the first month and a half of my company.
Really? Like you were just chilling?
I was
But you still getting paid though?
Of course I'm getting paid, yeah. But I'm just like, I was trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do.
You had the network engineer title at that time as well?
Yeah, that's when I got hired as a network engineer 1.
So your first position off the bat, network engineer?
Network engineer.
But that's lit though, bro. Because you know, bro, people go through trials and tribulations just to become a network engineer. Like they go through help desk, admin, then network engineer a lot of the time. And for how I've seen it, a lot of the time, like you mainly see like older people in network engineering, people who've been in the field for like 10 years. That's what I've noticed, like, since I've been in the field. It's
very senior.
It's
like I've worked with people who are 50, 60, 70.
Right.
I work with a guy who's almost 80. Right. And then, but like when you work in like software, it's like all young people.
That's all young.
So networking is a mature field.
Yeah, it's definitely a mature field. And the thing is that people, they don't even like, you know, younger people, they don't really see it as an attractive field. They don't see it as a field they want to go for, which is, you know, another reason why I make content to kind of put that out there. Like, bro, networking is also a field that you're able to get into and you're able to break into. And I don't want to say easy, but relatively, like, bro, you can get a CCNA and you have like a good amount of knowledge to actually, you know, configure something up. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one of the main reasons I started making content, because a lot of people don't know nothing about networking, bro.
When did you get your CCNA?
2024, beginning of 2024.
2024?
Yeah.
But you were already a network engineer before it.
Yeah, I was already a network engineer before that. I was a network admin first. So I had experience as a network admin, then moved into a network engineer role at a different company. But yeah, I didn't have my CCNA when I got that role.
Okay, because for me, I got my CCNA my last like semester of college.
Really?
Yeah. January 2021. And the funny thing is, after I got it like during winter break, you know? I was just grinding away, doing Anki decks and all that stuff, right? And mock exams. And then at some point, once I got the CCNA, I did I had a class, networking class. And then like, when you, in the first day of class, it was a remote class, right? But when the first day, they're like, hey guys, like put a description of like yourself and what you've done, right? I put like, yo, I got my CCNA. I'm excited for this class. Yeah. But it's a beginner networking class. I mean, I guess it's beginner, but it's like still an advanced class. The instructor hit me up saying, yo, you just got your CCNA? He's like, bro, just know that everything in this class you probably already know.
Yeah, that's how it was. Because even like, bro, I understood most of the stuff in college was stuff that like I did on Network Plus. Like for networking class, that was Network Plus stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like, how was it like, the same for you? How many networking classes did you have actually?
I had 2 networking classes.
You had 2? I literally only had 1. And
you know what? It might have been 1, bro. Yeah, it was like a 4,000 level class though.
Okay.
So now they made it an advanced class.
Yeah.
They didn't have. There was no beginner class.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of how it was for me. And then after that class was just, all the stuff was like from the CCNA, right?
Yeah.
They were going by the CCNA curriculum.
Oh, they were going by.
They weren't going by the Network Plus.
Oh, that would have been an easy class.
Bro, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this everything here is, we're doing packet tracer, simple labs. I'm like, I even told my instructor, like, hey man, do you have any advanced stuff? He's like,
that's all he got.
He's like, it's like I'm only following the curriculum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And I passed that class, but then after I graduated, right, I didn't do any internships. I didn't get any jobs. I wasn't looking for jobs. I wasn't really like, cause like when I was in college, I wasn't like trying to get a job right after I graduated.
Yeah.
I was big into traveling, and I wanted to take like a gap year. You know how people take a gap year before college? I want to take a gap year after college.
Did you have a job to fund that gap year?
Yeah, I mean, I had some savings, right?
Okay.
I was working at the airport at that time and like doing DoorDash, and Amazon Flex was actually paying back then. So I was just doing that, and obviously I was living with family, so expenses was low. And then at that point, I was like, okay, like I could either do the gap year, and then my uncle, he's a network engineer. Mm. To this day, he's a network engineer actually at that same company actually. But he taught me. He said, yo, just learn this, get this certification. Yeah. He's the one that told me to get a CCNA.
Yeah, I mean, I have an uncle like that too. How big do you believe in like mentors? Do you feel like he was a mentor to you, I guess, breaking into networking? And like how big do you think mentors are for
the big thing about mentors is they keep you on track. Yeah. It's not like what they teach you is like you have someone physically that you know who's doing something that you want to do, right? And you're like, okay, just do this, right? And then they hold you accountable. Yeah. Right. So I think it's life-changing, right? Because if it wasn't for him, I would not have even known what network engineering is. Yeah. I would just think like, I mean, I feel like the majority of people don't even know what it is.
Yeah, no, that's fact. That's facts. For me, it was more or less of, I just kind of stumbled across it. Like I was trying to break, like I was in college trying to get, see what to do in tech. I was doing Python, Java, and all these things. I wasn't so interested in all those. So started looking at the CompTIA A+. During the A+, stumbled across DHCP and all these other, networking technologies. And it just kind of just really interested me, I guess. And after that, I took core 1 of the A+. You got to have 2 certifications to pass it, but I just did the first one. I didn't like it. I didn't like all the hardware stuff. So then I moved to Network Plus. Network Plus was like I really was interested in that. And I grinded Network Plus. And like I really liked it. And then, I had an uncle. He mentored me as well through it, helped me out with any questions I had. He's a voice network engineer. So he's been in the field for a long time. So he kind of just gave me all the roadmap to get into networking, and took Network Plus, passed it. And I mean, honestly, the rest was history. Everything from there on was just trying to get better at networking. Started doing my own home labs with like Cisco equipment and stuff like that, and integrating as much stuff as I could. Started even doing like integrating servers and stuff as well, just to get the full grasp of everything. But yeah, honestly, that's how I stumbled across networking. Like I didn't have someone tell me to do networking. I kind of just really piqued my interest for whatever reason.
Have you always stuck to networking? Like, have you ever said, okay, let me think about learning to code, something like that?
No, it's for me. Since I learned networking, it's always been networking. At first, yeah, I was looking at other things like I wanted to do comp sci. Like my degree was in IT, right? But I wanted to do computer science at first because I really liked software engineering, because that's the time software engineering was really hot. Everybody wanted to be a software engineer. Shortly after, the software engineering market kind of went down a little bit, and you know how things went. But yeah, after I found out about networking, that was completely where my mind was. Like I would watch network check videos right before bed. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, yeah. After I learned about networking, I've stuck with it all the way through, pretty much.
That's smart. That's good.
And then also doing research. Like a lot of people just don't care about networking. And like even people who are in cybersecurity, I had one thing my mentor told me, because this is around this time, like, yeah, I was doing networking, but I also knew like I like security. My minor was in cybersecurity, so I had that interest as well, but primarily networking. But he told me, like, even the guys moving into cybersecurity, like you have to first understand how the network works. You can't secure a network that you don't understand. So that's also another thing that kind of made me stick to networking and kind of really just like hound in on that.
Yeah. Bro, networking is an interesting field. That's the thing, right? Because I mean, people are gonna watch this podcast, right? And all over the world, right? From Africa to Asia to China, wherever, but they're watching in real time, right? Yeah. And it just when I first got in, I didn't understand that scope. Like it was hard for me to fathom, because we don't think about, oh, there's an access point.
Yeah.
There's radio signals being sent to my phone right now in real time. There's radio signals being sent everywhere that has data, which is just, isn't that just crazy to think about?
That's absolutely crazy. Like
Right?
even the concept of wireless, all that stuff. It's so hard to think about. And a regular person who's not in networking, who doesn't care about any of this stuff, they're not going to sit and think about how I'm able to make a phone call from someone here all the way across to the other side of the world. They're not going to think about that, which is another reason. It's like networking is such a cool field to be in. Like you really get to, like, who cares about fiber lines? If I'm just you ask a regular person on the side of the street, like what they care about fiber lines, nobody cares about that stuff, but it's really important for you to, like, most of everything that you do, browsing on the internet, watching videos on YouTube, like everything.
Your whole life needs it.
Literally.
Right? It's like the water for your technology. Like, I mean, there's no, like, technology wouldn't have progressed this quick if it wasn't for communication.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a big part. So, I mean, I feel like people would kind of, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what can make it popular. I don't know what makes, I mean, the hottest field is cyber, right?
Of course.
Everyone's like cybersecurity. And to be fair, there is a lot more jobs in cybersecurity, right? And people think networking it's either dead, it's like boring.
Yeah.
Or they just, I don't even know. So
the thing is, a lot of people can't get past subnetting. They look at subnetting, their heads start hurting.
Yeah.
They can't get past subnetting. They feel like, nah, we not.
How'd you get past it?
For me, it was, I didn't really have much of a problem with subnetting. After, like, I used Professor Messer and Jason Dion. Those are my two people that I use for my Network Plus. And honestly, it just came to me. Like, I know a lot of people had a lot of trouble with it, but it wasn't a concept that was entirely too hard for me to grasp my head around. And
yeah,
I mean, I was fairly good at math, pretty much most of my life. So that might also be another reason why, but it wasn't a concept that was super hard for me. And, I have people that are doing certifications like CCNA Network Plus.
Yep.
And I usually help. I have a way that I go about subnetting. Also, Professor Messer has a great way to go about subnetting. That's one of the ones I use as well. But there's a way I go about subnetting, and that's been like my go-to way, and that's the one. That's how I teach people all the time. I have videos on my YouTube where I explain subnetting from Class A, Class B, and Class C, and show them how to do every single type of subnetting. So
yeah,
it's just really, you have to. It's a process that you just have to get in your mind. It's like I don't really know how to explain it without like just sounding too naive. Just saying, I know how to do it. I'm a boss.
The craziest part though is like people get so wrapped up like, oh, I got to learn. Subnetting is the most difficult part, but in the industry, I use a calculator, right? Just because like, and I've spoken with CCIEs, right? And they all say, I use a calculator, right? Because here's the thing, like if you do a subnet, right, and if you get it incorrectly, you can cause an outage, right? And I've caused an outage by putting the wrong subnet on a device. Like my biggest outage I ever caused was I put on IPv6, like the slash, it goes all the way to /128. You know how point to points are /127? Basically, I took out the 7, it was /12.
Oh yeah.
That makes it like a billion trillion hosts, whatever, right? Yeah. Usable hosts, right? And then that wiped out, luckily, only 2 like data centers. And that was a whole story. And I went to the office and all that, and I talked to my manager. He's like, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal.
I mean, you're not a network engineer if you haven't messed something up, bro.
Every network engineer has caused an outage.
Yeah,
literally.
So let me ask you this: are you so has most of the places that you worked at, have they all used IPv6?
Yeah,
really?
They've always used IPv6.
I've never been in an environment that uses IPv6.
But the way they use it is they use it dual. So they'll have IPv4 and IPv6 configured on like the routers and everything and on the interfaces. So
all the environments that I've worked in have
IPv4.
No, IPv6.
That's good. I mean, that makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes it a lot. It definitely makes it a lot easier because even IPv6, since I haven't really had to use it in an environment, I haven't really kept up with it, that much because
there's no difference.
Yeah, I don't really use it at all unless I'm studying for a certification. So I haven't had to use that, but like it makes it a lot easier just to keep up with subnets in our environments, pretty much.
Yeah, it's basically just another way to just.
It's another way to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit more complicated to look at. Like you're like, damn. Sometimes you're like, man, I gotta, because there's so many like letters and numbers you gotta look at, and you gotta make sure it's correct, right? Because the big thing as a network engineer is like attention to detail, right? You gotta make sure whatever you're putting in on the device is exactly the way it should be.
Yeah.
Right? Because we got a lot of power, man. we got a lot of power.
You do
and
have a lot of
we
power.
Can
You can cause an outage, you can cause security breach. You can cause a lot of stuff.
the more I think about it, like I could bring down like a whole state.
Yeah.
Right. Because especially in the telecommunication side, like everyone uses whatever. Like you guys use Comcast here?
Yeah, we have used Comcast.
Okay, we use Comcast in my city too. Like we can literally just say, okay, you can go to the backbone routers, right? You go to the top. You know how the hierarchy goes, like access layer, distribution, core, and then there's an ISPs that have another layer called backbone, and that shit like you don't want to mess with
that. Yeah,
and they usually give that to the seniors.
So how important do you feel like making content has been to the actual growth of your career so far?
Bro, it increased so many parts of my career, right?
Yeah.
The first thing was like, I feel like my interview skills have gotten so much better, right? And I always tell people that I help, like, yo, if you want to like get better at interviewing, just get better at talking about technical concepts on camera, right? Where you can see yourself, and then because you're on camera, you're like, okay, it's live, I got to record. You know, that kind of simulates what a real interview is like, right? And that makes you like, you know, better at speaking, because that's kind of how when you're interviewing, you're speaking. You got to be better at interviewing, and that's a huge thing. So I would say that helped a lot. Another big area is I put my YouTube channel on my resume. Yeah. And I didn't think, you know, people say don't do it, it's a bad idea. I'm like, let's see, right? I'm big into testing, right? I'm like, worst case scenario, they reject me. Best case scenario, maybe it's a good strategy to get better job offers, right? And that's kind of how I got the position at Zscaler. Was I put my YouTube on my resume, and then I had the first interview. The guy, he saw the YouTube channel before the call, and every single interview I had 5 interviews. It was 5 interviews.
That's a lot of interviews.
And they were with senior engineers, with CCIEs. But everything at the end of the interview, I would never bring it up. At the end, they're like, "Yeah, man, keep up the great content." Yeah. Right. Like, and I remember I spoke with the director. This guy, like, you know, he's a head honcho, you know, there, and he said, like, "Hey, man, like, great. You know, I see your channel, great, good stuff." So that definitely helps a lot, and it kind of brands yourself. Yeah. Right? Because no one else is doing it. Everyone else is doing the same thing. So it's kind of like a referral for yourself in a way where they can, okay, because the referral is trust, right? Yeah. When they see the channel, they kind of trust you that, okay, this person is a legit person, especially when you're cold applying, right? So that's when I did that, it kind of worked, and it makes you more confident in your skills as well, when you put yourself out there as well.
No, I feel you. Yeah, that's one thing that I was really hesitant on, you know, at first. Like, I've had multiple recruiters reach out to me, say that, hey, I've seen your social media and we want to, you know, interview you, you want to do this, want to do that. But actually putting it on my resume, I was very hesitant on that until more recently. So, I mean, it's cool to know that it's worked for you as well as it has, because I actually really, like, maybe 2-3 days ago, just not put my social media on my resume.
But how'd you put it?
So the way I have it is have it listed as online educator with my social media handle. I also have my website at the top of my resume, which is my www.techychriss.com. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on there where it has an API link to my YouTube channel as well, where it has just all my videos and all my concepts, and you can filter it by what topic that you're looking for. Like, if you want to search up CCNA, you can search it up on my website, and it'll show you exactly what I'm talking about with CCNA content. So that's kind of how I have it on my website. On my resume. And I literally just put my resume on. Put my social media on my resume like 2-3 days ago. But how do you have it on yours? Because, I mean, you know, it's works for you, so it might be, you know.
Yeah, so I put my YouTube channel name, which is Network Wali. Yeah. And I would just put Network Wali, and then I say, like, you know how, like, the employer, I just put YouTube. Yeah. And then, all the bullet points is, like, you know, online education. You know, I teach technical concepts. I give advice. Whatever. You know, I put all those bullet points, and then I have the link to my channel at the, you know, where it has my job description as well as the top. Yeah. So you know how where you have your LinkedIn and as a hyperlink, the YouTube, there's also a hyperlink as well. So you can just, I mean, when it's there, I want them to click on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you see that blue link, YouTube. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Because there's something special about video. Like, there's something about video that you can't get with. Let's say I just wrote I just did a bunch of configurations, and I just put on like LinkedIn. I just have like a block of text. Yeah. Like, with just, you know, like, no one's gonna like.
A lot of people not gonna read that.
No one. Most, like, I mean, do you read that kind of stuff? Like, when it's like just a whole block of text.
Whole block of text. No, I'll skim through it. You know,
you skim through it, right? But then you don't know who wrote it. Yeah. I mean, because there's no face behind it. There's no voice behind it. I mean, it's just a block of text. If anything, it could just be all AI.
Yeah, literally.
Right?
I mean, a lot of people use AI to write a lot of stuff. So I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah.
One thing that, like, especially with social media and stuff, one thing I always tell people, like, and this kind of goes back to what you said a couple minutes ago, like, building your brand with social media is one way to grow in tech. I've always preached this. Like, if you're able to get in front of a camera and teach topics, like whether it be cybersecurity, whether it be networking topics, whatever it is, that will push you ahead of the game a lot. First of all, helps on those communication skills. You're able to sit there and talk and articulate your sentences with no issue. That helps you so much with interviewing skills. And then also, say you are teaching topics, teaching a whole bunch of stuff. Recruiters love to see that stuff. If you're able to sit there and teach a concept, bro, I mean, how valuable can you be to the actual company that you're working for? They're gonna feel like you're someone who's able to be coachable, able to be teachable. And I mean, I always tell people, it'll take you so far just documenting your progress and making content. Like,
I was gonna say, like, teaching is a huge thing. Yeah. Because I'm my old company, Charter Communications. I mean, Charter Spectrum, like 2 different names. I always get it confused. But at that company, like, I would, because I've been there for 3 years, right? And then a lot of new network engineers would come there, and I would teach them. Be like, hey man, like, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. Yeah. My manager would always peep that, and he would always tell me, like, how you do those final reports? He's like, hey, Wally, one thing I really like about you is that you're helping people, you're teaching people. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm just doing it because I like doing it, but it also helps me. Yeah. Like, I get better because, like, they're asking questions like, okay, like, what's this? I'm like, wait, let me think about it. Oh, you got to do it this way. Wait, hold up, maybe not that way.
I mean, it helps your critical thinking skills. It helps a lot of stuff. And yeah. If you're able to sit by the camera, make some content, teach concepts, do whatever you can just to document and just show what you can give. It'll help you in the long run, 100%. Yeah.
Were you scared to get on camera?
Yeah, I was scared to get on camera. And honestly, like, I've had a whole bunch of different, like, I would say different primes. Like, I don't know, multiple people I talk to who shoot and do social media, they say that they've had different, like, eras of content. Like, I used to do public interviews, like, a long time ago, high school and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. I used to do public interviews. And then there was time where I was doing gaming, like, making Fortnite content. And I finally, I was able to get into the tech niche and kind of bring some of those gaming people to my tech niche and stuff. So, like, I was scared at first, but it's more or less the fact that I'm trying not to sound dumb when I'm teaching somebody a concept. I play it back a couple times, like, oh man, does this sound right? Did I stutter here? Did I say this in the right way for them to understand it? Like, it's kind of more of that. It's not necessarily that I'm scared to talk in front of the camera. Yeah,
it's the fear of looking dumb. That's really what it is. Or the fear of looking weird, or the fear of saying the wrong thing. Right. Or your friends, family saying, like, yo, what are you doing? Yeah, like, why are you posting on social media? Like, it's because it is weird because, like, none of my family does anything on social media, even extended family or friends. Yeah. Like, because in my city, is like, no one really does that kind of stuff. So it's like, the first time I did it, I was like, okay, let me just stand in front of a camera. I mean, I just shot it with my iPhone. Like, I had to, like, the tripod was so, like, crappy. I put it, like, in front of a book. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool, hit record. And then I recorded it, stuttering, saying random stuff, like, kind of, like, even nervous, even though there's no one there. And then I never even posted that video. Yeah. Like, the first couple I didn't post, but I was like, okay, let me try again and again. And then I made that. And then I don't know if you see my first video.
Which one was it? Was it
the first video? Was just like step-by-step guide to becoming a network engineer.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the reason I made that video was like, I mean, I try to make videos on other concepts too. Like, I used to kind of be into trading and stuff, but, like, when you're trying to talk about something that you really don't know, like, that well, it's hard.
That's a big fact, because that's also another reason I like content, because, like, a lot of the time, like, hey, I'm talking about maybe I'm talking about BGP this time, right? It helps me refresh my mind on the small things that maybe you don't use every single day. You get to refresh your mind every time that you're sitting there teaching that topic. That's another reason I feel like content is, like, really good to make. Because, like, this definitely stuff, like, as a network engineer, CCNA, you're gonna learn a lot of different technologies, but you're not gonna use those technologies every day. I mean, when was the last time you used port security and configured port security?
I've never configured port security.
Exactly, right. I've had to configure port security in a live environment. And,
like, those sticky, I remember you doing the sticky thing with the port.
Mac sticky and all that stuff. Like,
that was the CCNA days, but I've never touched it ever since.
Right. So there's things like that. You don't touch them that much. You probably might not ever touch them, depending on what environment you work in and what reasons they have. Like, only reason I was using port security was because we were doing a a semi project where we were configuring all printer ports inside of the environment to use to be MAC address filtered, right?
Yeah.
So like only the printers with that specific MAC address could connect to that port, and if another device or something connects to that port, then the port was shut down. It was just another security measure that we're taking inside the environment, and it's like, other than that, I would have had no reason to ever use port security. I mean, depending on wherever I go, but that's just another thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I learned CCNA, I was like, okay, I gotta learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm like, I mean, the thing is, it's good to know, like, when you're new, just to understand everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get the job, then you go deep into whatever area you do, right? So when my first company, it was mainly just routing, right? I mean, I didn't really have to worry about spanning tree. I didn't really have to worry about, even like anything with access points. I've never even touched an access point ever, right? Like port security, never had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Just mainly routing, and then VLANs, and then like obviously the router on the stick stuff and layer 3 switches and how to configure SVIs and BVIs. And
yeah. So would you say you're more of like a route switch engineer?
I'm mainly route and switch. Like I never had a touch of I'm not really in tune with like firewalls and stuff either. So
yeah, me as well. I'm primarily a route switch engineer. I get in. So the thing with where I work at right now is that we kind of are all diverse in what we do. So I do work in wireless. Like if there's if we have a SIAN, we have a wireless AP swap. I'll go into the wireless controller and configure those access points. Sometimes even with voice. When we're swapping, like we're doing a voice migration. We just moved from WebEx phone to Teams phone, right? That's all hands on deck. Everybody has their own part that they're playing. So yeah, primarily I work with route switch and a lot of SD-WAN these days as well. But mainly, sometimes we all have our parts to play in every part. You know what I mean? Even security, like I deal with security here and there as well. Not too much on the firewall side.
You seem to deal with a lot of different areas.
I deal with a little bit of everything. That's what I'll say.
That's good.
Like lately, I've been dealing with security a good bit too. Like so I don't know how your environment is, but we have like vulnerabilities that come into that we get alerted about, right? So say Cisco puts out a new advisory about a vulnerability for Catalyst 9200, for instance. Cisco puts that advisory out, that'll automatically come to us, and we'll look on our device and see if our device is affected by that vulnerability. So me as the engineer, I'll look at that advisory, look at the switch, go into that switch, check the whole switch stack pretty much, go into that switch stack and check if, hey, is this vulnerability affecting this device? If not, I'll mark it as a false positive. If it is, then I'll figure out how we're going to patch that and move forward with it. So, things like that.
Yeah, and then like to fix it, you're probably gonna do like a code upgrade or
it'll be like iOS upgrade.
Yeah,
depending on what it is. Sometimes it could be like we have to remove a specific command or remove a different service. Like another thing that I just was working on. So we had a vulnerability on a device, and it was due to the phones that we. So like I said, we just moved to a new phone system. So it was due to some phones still being plugged into the network that were not part of our new system, and they were creating a vulnerability because now they're not being supported. So I went in there, had to delete a lot of the configurations from different phones on the network, and actually call the office administrators at those sites to actually physically unplug the phones. So it kind of varies depending on what it is.
Yeah, because I remember when I first got started, I mean, it was a lot of BGP.
Yeah.
It was a lot of OSPF and ISIS. Those are the three main routing protocols that we used.
Yeah.
And the CCNA, I mean, it covered BGP, it covered OSPF, but I didn't know what ISIS was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was kind of like scared. I was like, okay, I have to learn this brand new routing protocol that's implemented everywhere in this network, and I've never used it before, right? And I had to learn it. And the good thing is, like, ISIS is basically like OSPF.
Yeah. Y'all use any RIP? I know that's
nah,
way
RIP
back.
is dead. RIP is dead, guys.
That's way back.
We ain't using no RIP out here. It's literally RIP. You know what I'm saying? Literally RIP. But yeah, I mean, what I had, like, BGP was a big one that I had to like really learn because BGP is the internet basically. It's the routing protocol to communicate with anything
autonomous system.
Anything with another autonomous system, right? That's literally what you're doing with BGP, and it's intense.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes into it. And there's so many damn prefixes, especially in like the telecommunication side. I mean, because we're pairing with so many different places, right? So it's like you gotta have it like set up the right way, otherwise it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pinpoint exactly why it's not working because there's so many prefixes you gotta change.
Yeah. So a lot of the time, are you hard coding this stuff or are you template based?
It's template based.
Okay.
It's always template based, right? So usually, like, there's going to be like senior engineers called principal engineers,
Yeah.
and those principal engineers, or sometimes they'll call them OEs. I don't know what the O stands for, but OE, I guess, like OG engineers. I don't know.
Yeah.
But these guys they would create, like, they're the masterminds behind everything. They would create it. We had a thing called a chalk page. It was really like a page where it's like a repository of all of our templates and a standard. They call it the standards, right?
Mhm.
So everything on the network has to look this way, right? Because technically we can use certain IP addresses, right? Or like whatever IP address you want, technically.
Yeah.
But it has to be a specific IP address for a specific purpose, or you have to use a specific port for a specific purpose.
Exactly.
And it's like extremely organized in a way, because you got to remember, at my old company at Charter, we had like, I'm trying to think of how many routers we had, but it was in the tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands.
And that's across like
and that's across the whole U.S. I think it was like 98,000 or something, or even more. But we had all these devices, and I mean, a lot of these devices, you got to keep. It's hard to keep track of all the stuff if it's all unorganized. So they were really big on that, of organization. But yeah, back to your question, like the templates, we use a lot of templates, and the good thing is you don't have to memorize configs.
Yeah.
As a network engineer, you just have to know what it does, and then change obviously the certain areas that need to be changed part of the template.
Exactly.
And then obviously when you implement it, know that the change you're making is actually not going to cause any. Really, the big thing is as a network engineer, we're afraid of causing an outage.
Right.
Because I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Who cares? We can fix that, right? But if you cause an outage, that's like a big mistake, right? Because as a network engineer, we're doing a lot of changes, right? You know this.
Yeah.
Like every day we're doing a change, right? And there's times even like during holidays where they're like, we're not doing
we're not doing nothing.
We're not doing no changes. They call it like a freeze, or like a network freeze.
Mhm.
And like that whole like Christmas time, Thanksgiving, we're kind of chilling because like.
Yeah, nobody wants to mess up during the holiday. I mean,
yeah, they don't want you to come in on call, because we're on call. You're on call?
Yeah, we're still on call.
Yeah, like being on call is a thing where, I mean, have you gotten called before? A couple times?
Yeah, like if a circuit goes down or something, they got to go.
Okay.
See
Like,
what's
have you ever
going
got
on.
called like 1 a.m, 2 a.m?
I haven't been there yet. I know. I mean, there's guys on my team, but luckily I've been able not to have those instances.
Like, you're lucky, man. I remember, actually, when I was a network engineers in my old company, they weren't supposed to be on call. But for some reason, I was on the on-call list for whatever reason. But I never questioned it because I wanted to just learn, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't like tell my manager like take me off the on-call list, right? Until like I was on call, and then they called me like that first night. I was like, oh damn, like 2 a.m. I got a phone call.
Yeah.
Right, but I missed it.
Oh really?
And then I went to my manager. I was like, oh man. So I hit my manager more like, hey man, I'm so sorry for missing it, whatever, right? And he said, don't worry about it. It's all good. But then I said, hey, just keep me on call. So I was on call, and another outage came. I woke up at like 2 a.m. to fix it. Small thing. Like, it was just like a port flapped.
Yeah.
I don't know if that happens pretty often.
that happens a lot,
Yeah, so, and really, it wasn't like a service impacting. So, like, because at Charter, it was a really big company. So then there was like NOC engineers who would, whenever there's an issue that they see and they think it's impacting, they'll send it to us network engineers to fix.
Take a look, yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, to be fair, I was part of the network implementation team, right? Which is just like adding new stuff to the network and just like removing stuff. It's like project based.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another team that was focused on outages, critical outages. And that team is like a 24/7 team, right? Our team is mainly just like implementation, anything new. That's why we do a lot of MOPS, method of procedures, where we create configurations and just add, new configurations or add a new device to the network, that kind of stuff. So, I mean, on your side, you're kind of, seems like you're a mix of both. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I know you were more on the ISP side of things.
Yes, yeah.
I work internal, right?
Okay.
I pretty much maintain infrastructure that was there before I got there. You know what I mean? So
yep.
For me, I feel like it's the same but a lot different because, yeah, we're like when we have a new site to build, we're on site, putting in a new infrastructure, configuring. First, we stage it, configure it before we even bring it out to the site. Have all that stuff configured, and we go through the change process, go through the change advisory board, get everything approved. And
yep.
After that, whenever it's time to implement that change, we go on site. If there's already infrastructure there, decommission all that infrastructure, put in the new infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually how it goes. If we're building up a new site, we just go in there, make sure all the circuits are ready, make sure everything is ready to go. Go ahead and start putting in all the new equipment. Also inventory, make sure all the inventory is taken note of. Like,
yep.
it's a whole process. It's a whole process, but
a lot of procedures.
Yeah, a lot
You
of
gotta,
procedures. I mean,
and a lot of parties that you got to deal with too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, we have to also collaborate with the security guys. Got to collaborate with the AV guys. Make sure their stuff is working. Make sure we're not interfering with anybody's
systems.
Yeah, systems as well with all the servers and everything that they deal with. So it's like it's a whole bunch of collaborating, making sure that our change isn't affecting their change and their change isn't affecting the next person's change.
Yeah.
A lot of collaboration. That's another thing about network engineering. Is like you're collaborating a lot. Yeah, you work with networking equipment, but you're literally the backbone of everything. The server guys can't put the server up if there's no network to run the server on.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember my first like 3 weeks, for 3 months at my first company. I had like a skip level meeting with my director, right? So I had a direct meeting with my director, and he just, hey, you just want to have a general conversation about how things are going, because he knew I was new to networking. You know, I asked him like, hey, I was like, there's a lot of logistics involved. There's a lot of moving pieces, you know, talking to people. It's like, this is normal in this industry. It's like, that's all we do.
Yeah.
Right. And it's nice because you start to build relationships with people, right? There's people from different teams that they've given my name to another person in that same team. So people randomly reach out to me.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh yeah, reach out to Wali because he'll help you out with this particular issue.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that happens with you as well.
I mean, also, of course. I feel like that has to happen. like for me, there'll probably be a guy from the systems team working on the server and stuff, and they need a port channel removed from that connects the server to the switch and stuff. They need a port channel taken down immediately. Hey, they reach out to someone. Hey, just ask Chris to do that. Chris will do that for you real quick. Like it's things like that, you know. And when you start working and start, you know, doing pretty good at your job, you start getting called a lot for a lot of different things.
Exactly.
That's one thing.
Funny story. I mean, there was this guy. We used to do a lot of decoms.
Yeah.
We have to, like, before we decom it, we have to tag the port with a description saying like, this port is being decommed, so the NOC team doesn't like go crazy that the port went down, right? But there's this random guy. I mean, he's been hitting me up. I don't know really what team he's from. I just see his name. And he did. You know how some people on, like, we use WebEx, he didn't have a picture of himself.
Yeah.
Or something. So I didn't really know how he looked, who this guy is. But for 3 years, he would always hit me up, like, you know, once a week or twice a week. Hey, Wally, can you decom this port? Thanks. That's all our convos, you know. But I've never seen this guy, but I'm pretty sure, like, it's just like, it's interesting that.
It's like, you have those conversations. Like, you have people, and it's another thing, especially me and you. Also, we both work remote, so those times when you actually do see who you actually been talking to over the phone for this long, it's like, okay, that's not exactly what I expected. You know what I'm saying? That's not who I thought I was talking to. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, you know, that physical, you know, connection. It's just it's different from, you know, just talking on the phone all the time.
Yeah, I remember I used to work with this guy because, like, at Charter there's another team called Doxus. I've never heard of that. But so we've been working with this guy for 3 years, right? I've never met this person. I mean, obviously you see his pictures. This guy, you know, he's literally upstairs, but I never, you know, met to ever see this guy. And just randomly, I was in a, like, basketball group chat with, like, my team, like, people play basketball. So I was like, okay, let's get a hoop session in, right? So, like, I go there. I see this guy. I'm like, what's your name, bro? He's like, you know, he told me his name, right? And I was like, wait, you're this guy? I was like, no way.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah, like, when I first met some of my team members in person, like, I didn't even know that was them. Just like how you said, I didn't even know that was them. Like, you know, we meet each other, say, okay, like, a funny story, like, just like what you had, like, I go on site to set up a new site, right? And, you know, I'm sitting here waiting for my guy my team member to get in, because usually how we do is, like, if we're building up a new site, it'll be at least 2 engineers at this site, 2 server guys, 2 AV guys, right? That's how we do it. So I'm sitting here, I'm calling my guy. He's like, hey, where you at? You know what I'm saying? It's the first time I'm meeting him. Hey, where you at? You know, I'm ready to get this started. AV guys here. Other guys are here as well. He's on the other side of the room. We're both on the phone looking for each other. And we have no idea what each other look like. And it's just, you know, hey, I'm over here. Where are you at? And it's funny because it's like, you don't know what these guys look like a lot of the time, but you work with them every single day. You have
bridge calls with them, but you just never seen them in person.
You never see them in person. Know their voice. You can hear their voice and know exactly who it is. It's crazy. You know?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, so, like, what are some of the trials and tribulations that you've had as a network engineer?
Trials and tribulations, usually one thing I say is imposter syndrome. You know, sometimes I tend to deal with imposter syndrome, and not so much more these days, more when I was first breaking into the field, but not feeling like I know enough or how to do this certain configuration, or, you know, say I'm working on something and maybe something I worked on a couple times, and I'm like, I'm stuck here. I'm not exactly sure what to do, or even if it's not, even if I kind of know what I want to do, I'm not sure if I do this, is it going to affect this? Is this going to bring this port down? Is this, you know, things like that. And being afraid to ask questions, you know, asking
huge.
questions over time, I've come to realize like asking questions it's never going to hurt you, you know? And that's one of the trial tribulations I have to come over. Like, hey, you ask this question, it's completely fine. It's no one's gonna look at you sideways for asking the question. They're gonna look at you sideways
if you never ask.
If you never ask
wait.
a question, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna look at you sideways if you never ask a question. Especially if you act like you know everything, and then hey, now you cause an outage on something that didn't need to have an outage. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I have to get over. Like, stop being afraid to ask questions. Ask your questions, you know. And this really came from when I had an issue. I wasn't exactly sure how to go about it. I asked one of my senior guys. He goes and asks the next person. So I'm like, hold on. You're supposed to be the guy that knows everything. You're asking questions. So it's like, you know, it's okay to ask questions. Everybody doesn't know. Not everyone's a master of everything. So
it's impossible. You can't know the whole network because it's very complex. Networking, especially if it's a big company, like there's people will have like their own little niches, right? I don't know if you noticed, like some people are really good at this. Oh, hit up this guy. He's really good at ISAS. He knows that. Or hit up this guy. He knows video stuff. But when you're new, you don't know who to hit up. That's another big thing. That's another thing, if you never ask those questions ever, if you never do that, you're gonna get to the point where you don't know what you're talking about, right? And then you maybe 4 or 5 months down the road, like this guy, like he's asking questions, or even 1 year, he's asking a question that's so beginner level, like what's going on? Here? You know, so obviously they're gonna look at you differently when you ask like a weird question like that's so simple.
That's so simple. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. One thing I wanted to ask you is, so you work in ISP side, I work internal core business. How much different do you think it is with you dealing with so many different devices, so many different nodes on the network? Because I know my network, right? I work in a network where it's 98 sites, and I know the subnet for this site, I know the subnet for that site. I'd imagine it's a lot more grand when you work with thousands of sites that you guys manage.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. So at Spectrum, like they had three different ISPs that actually commingled together and actually joined, right? So they had Time Warner Cable, they had Bright House Networks, and they had Spectrum.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of Bright House.
Right, so Bright House is like in Florida. They even have it in Georgia.
Yeah, I've heard of Bright House.
In Alabama, actually. So they brought these networks together. So all these networks have their own little different like standards. So actually all those standards that we talked about are actually different per ISP.
Okay.
So it's like I worked for 3 different ISPs together. So it was kind of insane and intense. So originally, kind of how they did our network was they had people kind of work at specific regions only, in specific ISPs, right? So people would only work at Time Warner Cable in California. Another team would only work in Florida, Bright House. Another team would work New York City, Time Warner Cable.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, but when I came, they kind of changed, kind of shook it up, and they said, yeah, everyone's gonna work. They want everyone to know every network, right? Because people were experts at their own little niche, and then whenever that team is gone, or like they're short, no one even knows how to like what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, in terms of managing that network, it's a lot to learn, right? And that's kind of why I learned so much from that company. Is like there's so many damn networks, there's so many damn pieces you have to know, and the big thing was like, okay, start small, right? I would get smaller tickets in the beginning, right? And the tickets would just range from like decom, or like, have you done augmentations? Where you just adding to an existing bundle?
No,
okay.
No, not really.
So basically, it's like you add in. Let's say the port channel has 40 gig, and you're making it 80 gig.
Okay, gotcha.
So then you're just adding the ports to that existing port channel.
Yeah. No,
Super
I
simple.
haven't really done too much with that. No.
Yeah, but you start with simple stuff. You kind of integrate into it, like, and then there's so many nodes, right? I mean, they go even like I would connect to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right, and the next thing I'll connect to like a router in New York City. And New York City had like so many routers. It was crazy. But I mean, there's so many damn team members as well. You got to work with, like, there's people from different cities, and you can notice like, okay, when I'm working with people in New York, they're a little bit more like, hey, let's hurry up,
Yeah.
And when I'm people in California, like, hey man, slow down.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite configuration terminal that you use?
Secure CRT.
Yeah.
Talking about terminal, like
the standard.
Yeah. I mean, when I first learned it, I was like, why am I using this? Let me just use PuTTY.
Yeah, that's
right?
exactly. I feel like most people started with PuTTY.
Yeah, but then when I got used to it, I was like, yeah, this is actually amazing because you use like the automation script thing with it.
Yeah. You mean the thing where you can just click the button and then it
Yeah.
press the script for you, right?
Yeah, I literally do that all the time where I just have scripts and then just like
Yeah.
it'll create like you guys like log your sessions and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Like I created some scripts for that. Like you have to like use like a VBS script. It's so weird, but
Yeah. I love Secure CRT. I mean, that's pretty much what I use. That's
day
my
to
go.
day, it's
That's,
your
that's
bread
the
and
go-to.
butter.
I mean, there's those people that still use putty and just connect
Oh
every
yeah,
node through
I've worked with
IP,
those
but
people.
I feel like Secure CRT, you are able to organize everything in a way
Mhm.
that's custom to you. So
Do you have a favorite color terminal? What's your
right
color
now I
scheme?
have Are you familiar with all of them that are in Secure?
I like Solarized Dark.
Do you? Okay, mine it's called traditional, but it's the one that has the green. It's green, and then I have some, what's the thing? It starts with A, like the keywords. How you're able to customize the keywords. Well, anyways, I have mine. It's like green, and then I have purple keywords for like different devices.
Oh, keyword highlighting.
Yeah, the keyword highlighting.
Yeah.
I have my keywords customized to purple, so it's like it kind of looks like how in the movies when the hackers are hacking and everything is green, and that's kind of how I have.
So you're
mine looking like
highlighting
right
certain keywords, right?
Yeah.
For example, like you would highlight like the keyword no, or the keyword
stuff
delete.
like that. Like there's different
Right.
things. Like it's the show commands that I have.
Okay.
Like show this. Yeah, those are highlighted in my stuff. So
Yeah.
it's just my preference,
I like highlighting too because like because when you hit like a show command and it just like you get this, some show commands are like the way they, I don't know who creates these show commands, but like the way they laid it out,
Yeah.
it's like you're just trying to find like the established, and you gotta like sift through it. But then when you have the keyword highlighting, I highlight the good stuff like blue or green.
Yeah.
I highlight the bad stuff as red.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did, and I had like buttons. Use the buttons too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use the buttons. Yeah.
But I had so many buttons for like certain things I would use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secure CRT is definitely the move for sure.
Definitely. So as far as like SNMP and stuff, do you have any applications that you like the most for like SNMP triggers and stuff?
Yeah, I mean like for tracking, right? Like
monitoring.
we do a lot of SolarWinds, MRT. Have you guys used MRTG?
I haven't used MRT. I've used SolarWinds though.
SolarWinds, okay. We had another thing called Libra NMS as well, right? But I prefer MRTG and also Rancid for like the configuration repository.
Okay.
Right. So that's like the big thing that we do. But since I was like kind of in the implementation side, we rarely even had to worry about like ongoing outages.
I got you.
But in terms of like the tracking, the metrics, we would use MRTG, which is like it'll look at the graphs, and then we'll look at see like okay which port is down, how long has it been down for, and all that stuff, which is really good.
Yeah. So like IT in general, they always has the ups, always have the downs. You can talk to me a little bit about like what are some of those ups and downs as you've been working and excelling inside the field.
Yeah, there was a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
When I first started, like I said, I had no manager. I was working remote. I was kind of lost, right? And I had no one to really teach me and no one to really tell me how to do things.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling. And it got to the point where I was afraid I might even lose my job.
Really?
Right. I was serious. I was like, am I getting fired? Like, that's how I felt. Because it's like, they weren't giving me any work. And I guess, it was just kind of how the company was at that time, and for new employees. But they put me in a new team, right, shortly after. And I was kind of scared, right? Because I had, that imposter syndrome because they start giving you work and they ask you to do stuff you haven't done before and you don't know who to ask for help. And that was kind of one of the biggest, trials I had was who to ask for help for and how to do the work. And after some time, I found a really good mentor. She showed me a lot. She taught me a lot. And, we just kept getting better and better and better. And, the thing with networking is there's a level of stress that we deal with.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really used to that level of stress, right? I mean, I came from no experience in IT to work an IT job, right? And, there's times where you're going to be alone.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing a maintenance window and our maintenance windows had to be at night, like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. And, doing those changes can be scary because, you're given like a template of configurations to add. And I mean, when you're new, you don't even know what you're doing, right? You're just trying to see, okay, I'm pasting this in. You're just praying that like no one calls you overnight or anything, like there's no outage that happens. And, thankfully I haven't had like a, crazy outage that I've caused except for that one IPv6 issue. But that level of stress is always there. But obviously it goes down over time. Right? I don't know if you had to deal with that level of stress because it can be like, in the beginning I was like, it was hard for me to even sleep because I would be worried of doing the change and maybe like someone calling me, right? But after some time, you gain the confidence.
Yeah,
and then you get better and better, and you get more comfortable. And now, like, I would do a change, and it'll be like, like I know for sure we're good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I agree with you. And that goes to me, like, before I even submit a change, man, I look at that thing like 2, 3, 4, 5 times
10
before
times.
before I
Hands
press,
are shaking.
before I put that that right mem. Man, I look at that thing so many times. So like, yeah, I definitely understand you, and it goes away over time. Like when I first started, just like you, I was terrified before everything. Before like anytime I was supposed to make a write command on a device, like I had to take a deep breath, look over that thing. This third time I'm looking at it, everything looks the same as it did on the first time. But I'm like, you know what? Let me look one more time, make sure everything is good. It's like you don't want to mess up. That anxiety is always there because, I mean, if an outage happens and it's your fault that the outage happens, I mean, a lot of the time your managers, they're not going to make a super big deal about it, right? But it's still that feeling that, hey, you know, I messed up. You don't want that feeling. You don't want to be in that position that, you know, everything is on you and you don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the biggest part. I messed up and I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do. Now you got to call someone. Now you have to escalate.
Yeah, and it's awkward too, right? Like you call someone in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, like I don't know what's going on," right? They're sleeping. You're like, "Hey, I need help with this." It's a very awkward situation, and that's kind of like the big thing with networking is like we have so much power, and I mean, sometimes we do the changes at night, right? And that was a big thing with me is I'm not a night person. Right. I've soon gotten better at night because I used to like sleep at 9 p.m. and wake up 4 in the morning. That used to be my schedule. But then as a network engineer, you know, you work your 9 to 5, and then sometimes you have to do your changes at night, right? So I would like, you know, whenever we had changes at night, I would go from 9 to like 2 p.m. And I would leave, you know, chill, you know, until like 10 p.m. when I got to do the change until like sometimes like 2, 3. One time I stayed until like 6 in the morning.
Really?
To do it.
Did you sleep at all during that time, or you just up the whole time grinding?
Doing the change?
Yeah,
I was up the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes like I would even go to the office to do the change. It was like a 15-minute commute. I would go there, and that really it was hard. It was hard for me. It really was. I'm not a night person myself. I'm not a night owl. Like it was, and it's hard for me to sleep during the day. So that was like something I had to adjust to. But I soon loved it. You know.
Yeah. How often were you on call for changes and maintenance?
So we had like a rotation. Right. So I would be on call, or sorry, not on call. I would be on the maintenance window calendar, which is like how we kind of structure we have like a calendar of like who's gonna be on like I keep saying on call, but who's gonna be the person to do the maintenance window, right, for that particular week. So it would be like every 2 months.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, I mean, I like doing it because like during the day you can kind of chill. They don't really expect you to do anything. Sometimes I don't even work during the day. I just come at night. You know, you work for your 4 or 5 hours. You do your change, and the camaraderie at night is pretty cool too because you're working with other parties too at night. Like you working with the video team. I'm working with Doxis. I'm working with like the backbone team because I was part of the core network.
Okay.
Because like the way Charter set it up is there was a core team, there was an access layer team, which is really called Doxis. There was a video team, there was an enterprise team. I mean, there were so many different teams that we worked with, and you know, at night time, you know, we hit them up at like, you know, exactly at midnight. Hey, are you ready? Let's roll. You know, I says, hey, I dumped my configs. I'm ready to go. Okay, let me dump it in. Boom. We check it. The pings. You know how you run the ping, and it's like you see all those exclamation marks. You're like,
perfect. So for y'all, or were there ever times where you guys were hiring like third parties, like, you know, CDW, those third party companies to help you guys do anything, or was it pretty much all
never had anything like that? You guys do that?
Yeah. So pretty much every company I worked at, they have at least some contractor, whether it be CDW, there's people like Black Box, there's these different third parties that come on site to help us out with some things. And the thing also is that, you know, I work on a team with 15 engineers. Not everyone is a network engineer even. Like maybe 9 network engineers, 2 to 3 AV guys, and the rest of them are 3 AV guys. Oh, collaboration guys as well. People who do strictly voice, right? So with that, a lot of the times we don't have the resources to go to every site. So we might just hire a third party to come on site at wherever that location might be. If there's no one in like a specific radius, and they'll do like the physical part of it. Whether maybe it might be racking and stacking, but if it's close to me, like say it's in Miami, say it's in Alabama, you know, neighboring states. If it's in somewhere with neighboring states, then someone will go out there. You know what I mean?
And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I wanted to ask you this: like, where do you see yourself in the future as a
Yeah.
network engineer?
Yeah, for me as a network engineer, I mean, obviously I want to go and get into the management side of things. Right now, I'm taking it steady. Want to build my technical skills up. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Trying to build my technical skills up, but then eventually want to get into management.
Okay.
Ideally, in the future, I would like to be like a C-suite employee. Chief technology officer, chief information officer, whatever it is. Also, with network engineering, you have the opportunity to move into consulting, help business infrastructures, help people out with small businesses. That's also another thing that I'm very interested in doing. I've kind of worked on different projects like that with small businesses, helping them, I guess, figure out what network infrastructure they need and how they're going to implement it. And I've done that too at a middle school level, but eventually want to get into more bigger businesses and helping people like pretty much build the network infrastructure from scratch.
Yeah.
Build security systems, build servers, all that stuff.
You can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Especially like new like offices, they need like they hire contractors to design how with all those access points, where you're gonna put the servers, where you're gonna put the routers and the switches and the racks, and how you're gonna there's a lot of planning that we do as network engineers.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge.
And it's so much space for it too, because it's like, for instance, say someone is building a small not necessarily small, but someone's building an accounting firm, right? And it's their private accounting firm, but it's kind of on that medium business level. Maybe 50 employees. Well, they're going to start needing infrastructure. They're going to start needing switches. They're going to start needing routers. Say they want to build another site, another location for them. They're going to have to, connect those two sites together. So people like that, and they don't want to hire IT staff. They don't want to hire real network engineers to be full-time with them, because a lot of the time it's just temporary. They're not going to always need those network engineers. I mean, they need those network engineers, but they're not always going to want to have the network engineers. They're going to be complacent. They're going to be good with how their stuff is set up at the moment.
Yeah, because like they need them for the deployment side, because that takes a lot of busy work.
Yeah.
But after that point, once it's kind of like set up, then they don't need.
Yeah, a lot of stuff they feel is set and forget, which is different when you're working for larger businesses, larger companies. A lot of that stuff is not set and forget. A lot of that stuff is set, maintain, and make sure that stuff is working at all times. That's the reason why I feel like there's a lot of demand in that contracting field, that contracting/consulting field, and helping small to mid businesses operate and deploy, and also decommission it sometimes. A lot of times they need help decommissioning stuff as well. So that's kind of, I guess, why I see myself really on the contracting, consulting side, and then also eventually on that C-suite level.
Now you got the potential for it, man.
Yeah, it's all you. I mean, man, the content has been doing great. You've been really, dropping a lot of gems. I mean, man, I sit in my bed sometimes and watch Network Wali, and I learn something new every time I watch you, bro. So it's like,
I appreciate it.
It's awesome. So for you, your thought process when you're making your content and trying to help other people, are you catering it to what your subscribers are asking, or is it kind of just go off of what is on your mind? Like, how do you kind of build your content and everything?
Yeah, so when I make videos, pretty much it's always okay. Like in the beginning, I would just make videos, right? Just whatever. Sometimes what I deal with in work, or I see a comment. Okay, let me make a video about that. But most of the time, it's all from experience, right? And all my videos are unscripted. It's very little like planning. It's all like, okay, point and shoot. Just start talking. See whatever happens. I really sometimes I'm like, I don't even know. Sometimes during the video, I'm wondering like, what was the main topic? But it ends up being still a great video. And I think those kind of honest videos, that's like unscripted and just an honest conversation, really helps, right? Because like a lot of times, people, their main struggle is, what should I do? Like, what's the next steps? Am I doing the right thing? Or it's like, what do you do on the job? What's the process?
Yeah.
What is network engineering? So I try to just drop gems based off of that.
Yeah.
And creating content's always fun. I love doing it. It's something that I want to grow to get better at as well. Like I'm actually building out a studio, in like a nice little studio, and I want to make some great content there as well. Because you've seen all my videos. I'm wearing the same black shirt. I'm wearing the black shirt right now.
The thing with that black shirt, it brands you, bro. I mean, I think one of the earlier videos I saw from you was when you passed your CISP, right?
Oh,
and it's that same. I've been seeing the black shirt since. You know what I mean? So it's like, that black shirt has been with you, but it brands you. Like I see your video. Okay, this is the guy who passed CISP, and then a couple days later, I see, oh dang, this is that same guy who was talking about how to get into network engineering. Like, I feel like that brand that you've created with yourself with that black shirt,
Yeah.
it's great. And then also another thing that I really commend you for is how minimalistic your thumbnails are, right? Your thumbnails are, they always hit, but it's very minimalistic, which is something that I feel like even me, I need to take after that, right? Because sometimes, you know, we trying to make our videos really good, trying to add a lot of stuff to the thumbnail just to make it pop, make it get people's attention. But then sometimes it ends up being overkill, which is one thing I commend you for, because your thumbnails are honestly pretty great.
I mean, they're just literally the same thumbnail every time.
It's the same thumbnail, but it's so consistent. It's
so
consistent that it makes it like no one could ever deny that's Wali's video right there. Like, it's so consistent.
So it's like branded on. I mean, that was not its intention. And the thing with me is, you see my videos, I go in, I don't like, there's no like 1 minute of just talking about nonsense. It's just like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking about this, and we go straight into whatever.
Straight into it,
So, cause like, I'm a no BS type of guy. I'm like, hey, just give me the sauce. Right. And people really appreciate that, because you know how the world of the internet is they're just trying to clickbait you, and you know, they have the thumbnails with the scary face or the big face, and like, you know, Cisco says cloud engineering is going to take over networking, like, just to scare people. But I want to bring in just honest people into my channel and build a real community with just like people who aren't like, you know, because to grow with YouTube is fear mongering, right? That's a big kind of niche you can do, is just like scare people and say, yo, this is happening, you got to do this, right? But I've seen like steady growth with my channel, and I want to keep it that way, because I like the community, I like the people that I want to help. And you know, every day I see comments, and one of this comment that I saw was like, this guy said, like, 1 month ago he wrote a comment, right? And he was like, hey Wali, I appreciate your videos. Right now, like, it's like rock bottom for me, but your videos really helping me. I'm like, hey man, keep going, do your best, whatever. And then like, I think like 2 days ago, he commented like, hey bro, I just landed a 50K help desk position. Awesome, thank you so much. But like, you know, he made an update in that comment, and that comment got like 15 likes originally. So I was like, okay, like, and I screenshot, I put it on Instagram just to show like people, like, even if you feel like your content isn't bringing value to people, right? Because originally I thought my content was trash. Because like, it wasn't. I mean, I started posting like a year ago, right? And no one was really watching it, right? And then it kind of grew, and you know, I just kept doing what I was doing, and I didn't think I was impacting people until people started reaching out to me on LinkedIn. Randomly, like, I was like, who are these? Because like LinkedIn, I never really used it, because like because I mean, I had my job. When you have a job, you're not looking for a job, you're not really using LinkedIn.
You're not really using LinkedIn.
So like, I'm noticing like I got like 1,000 invites. I'm like, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's helping people, and the thing is, like, you don't see the people. But you're actually helping them.
No, I agree with you. And that's a big thing. Like, I have people reach out to me almost every single day saying, hey, can you help me with this? Or if it's not, can you help me with this, is you've helped me with this. You know what I mean? And it's a really great feeling being able to give back, because, you know, we're in that point where we're kind of, you know, fairly experienced in our fields, right? So being able to give back to, you know, people, because I didn't have that. I didn't have someone to look up to and be like, hey, how do I understand this concept, right? There's those creators that were there, you know, like the Network Chucks and the Bearded IT Dad and all those guys. Those guys are there, but a lot of the time, these guys have been in the field for so long, it's hard to relate to a lot of the stuff. Point blank. It's hard to relate to a lot of stuff. And when you have that connection with someone who literally came from your background, literally had no experience, and was able to get experience in, 3-4 years, it helps those people, right? And I love being able to help people and give people advice, and you know, all around, just be there, be that support system for people. Because I mean, I reply to almost every comment that I get. I try my best to reply to most of the comments that I get, whether it be on LinkedIn, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be on under my YouTube videos. I reply to most of them, just giving those guys a support system. Yeah,
it really helps people, right? And we're changing lives, and that's kind of what I want to continue doing, is creating content, providing value, and maybe bringing some unique content. I remember we talked about like maybe going to Africa and talk with ISPs and shoot documentaries. Like, there's a lot of potential that we can do. Right. And the content is something that provides value to people. And like I said, maybe someone watches the content and it tells them from what we teach or what we tell people about, maybe they decide not to become a network engineer. That's great. But at least, you know, they got the information that was, that saved them time. Because I mean, I've been on YouTube. I mean, how long have you been using YouTube? For a while, right?
I've been using YouTube for some time. Yeah, I mean, like I told you, man, I've had so many different eras of content that I've kind of ventured into. But
Yeah.
networking and giving value to people, that has been the era of content that has really stuck. Like, you know, all the funny content has been cool. Public interviews, cool. All that stuff is cool. But when you're actually giving value and actually giving real sauce to people stick around.
Yeah.
That's really what I've noticed.
Yeah.
And one question I get asked all the time, and I'm gonna, you know, relay this question to you.
Okay.
Is what do you feel the best way to really understand networking is? From ground up, what do you feel like the best way is?
Mm-hmm. I would say the best way is doing labs.
Labs.
Right. I'm not a big fan of certs. You see my videos. I mean, I downplay certs a lot because it's multiple choice, and that's not real life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, networking is labbing, right? And the big thing with networking is when I was new to it, I was not doing labs. I was afraid of doing labs. Because labs make you look dumb. It really does, right? You're doing a lab, you're doing a configuration, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say one area is to understand basically. Yeah. See these flies, they're trying to get into networking, but but like the thing is like, when you do labs, you're learning how communication works.
Yeah.
So you have a router here, you have a switch here. How are they able to communicate with each other?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the easiest way to learn. And it's the funnest way to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah. No,
right?
that's a fact. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's a big fact, because one thing that will always hold true is that you can have all the certs in the world. I mean, I have guys who talk to me about they have a CCNP, but they have no real hands-on experience.
Yeah.
No organization is going to trust you in their network at 3 a.m. during the maintenance window to work on something if you have no hands-on experience. You haven't seen anything. You haven't really dealt with anything major. So over-certifying yourself, to me, that's a big no-no. You know what I'm saying? That's just going back to what you just said, right? Over-certifying yourself, that's one of the things that kill a lot of people. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You get I have Network Plus, Security Plus, AWS, I have Azure, I have CCNP. I'm about to go for CISP. Okay, you about to go CISP, but you have no experience. How are you going for CISP? You know what I mean? Yeah. All this stuff is like, it ends up killing you. It ends up being more harm than hurt. So that's why, like you said, labbing is one of the best ways to really understand the concepts. Labbing something, building a lab, breaking it, coming back to it later, and fixing it and troubleshooting where you broke it. That's how you learn.
Troubleshooting. My manager used to say, "Hey, troubleshooting is how you learn."
Yeah.
Because you have an issue, and you're being told to fix this issue, right? It's like a puzzle. You're like trying to figure out what is causing the network to not speak with each other.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with a solution. So you're trying different things. I mean, that's how I learned as a network engineer on my job. You know, troubleshooting is an area where you're doing something, you're trying to fix it. You have no idea what's causing it. You're doing like the method of like trying to remove this configuration. Okay, replace it there, add this there, and eventually it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But guess what? Once you fix it, that's gonna be ingrained in your brain, and you're always gonna remember that. But if you're just doing like the paper certs and doing this, and hey, I got my Network Plus, A Plus, Security Plus, CCNA, I got all these certs, but when you ask, like I've spoken with people who have CCNAs, and then they don't even know what DHCP is. I'm like, how'd you get a CCNA?
Yeah,
because it's because they memorized questions.
Yeah.
And then when you memorize questions, you're not going to know what the purpose is.
Yeah, a lot of people. I've seen people. They ask me, "Do you think that a test dump is good? Exam dumps are good?" I say, I would say no to exam dumps. If you're not going to actually learn the information and actually really dial in and get that information and make sure that you can know it a year from now, why are you doing an exam dump?
It's meaningless.
It's meaningless.
Because even if you get it and you do get the certification, when you go into the interview setting, they're gonna be like, "Okay, tell me about a time you've configured this."
Yeah.
And you're like, I have my CCNA. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not gonna save you.
Yeah.
So like I know people who've taken dumps, right? And they say, "Yeah, I got it." And like, I interview them. I do like a mock interview with them, and like I can tell, like, yeah, you need to work on your skills. Because there's people that, like, you can be. I mean, that's the thing with certs. It gets people too obsessed with it. And my saying is like, get a cert, get it quick, and then go straight back into lab.
Yeah, go to labbing. Yeah, right. The labbing shouldn't stop. So especially if you don't have experience, labbing should never stop.
Yeah,
you should be able to keep working on that topic. Like, okay, you got your CCNA, cool, but you know what I'm saying, you can't
continuously working. Like I just bought like a Palo Alto firewall, Juniper switch, and a Cisco router, and I'm about to build my own home lab because I've never done actually like a home lab.
Really?
Ever. Like it's always been GNS3 packet tracer.
And those are good too. I mean, I have I've built a lab, but I just moved, so I kind of gotta rebuild my lab up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's really good to have that hands on. I mean, the only reason I had it is because my company, they gave it to me for free. It was
Oh, there you go.
older hardware. It was
Take
some 4430 series Cisco switches, and then I had some
Okay.
2 older Catalyst switches, 3000 series
Okay.
switches, and then I have a Palo Alto firewall as well.
What's your favorite device, by the way? Do you have a favorite
My
device?
favorite device, it's got to be a Catalyst 9200.
Oh man,
I love.
I'm a Juniper fanboy.
Really,
I love. Have you used Juniper?
I haven't used Juniper. No,
So
I've used
nice.
Fortinet. I've used Palo Alto. I've never used Juniper. No.
Juniper has the best CLI. And when I was new to my company, they had half Cisco, half Juniper.
Really?
And I was like terrified to ever look at this Juniper stuff because it looks, for a CLI, it looks quite different, but it's very similar. But it's so elegant in the way it's like the way you have it set up.
Really?
And one thing that's the most ingenious way, the way it's set up, and the higher level Cisco's have this, but when you add a configuration, right? Let's say you add like a shutdown, no shutdown on a port, or shutdown. Let's say a port, you shut it down. It won't actually, like, let's say you do configure terminal, you go into interface fast Ethernet 01, right? And then you do shutdown, right? When you run that command, it won't actually run it until you run the command commit.
Okay.
Right?
So like a right mem, I guess, right?
It's not even a right mem.
It's not.
It's a like the command won't even be ran, because right mem just saves the command, right? But it's still ran, right? When the commit will actually run the command, and then you have to do the right mem afterwards.
Okay.
Right. So it's an elegant way of doing it, and actually you can run the command on Juniper called show compare, and then let's say I add like 1,000 configurations. It'll tell me what configurations I'm adding and what configuration. Look it up.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so nice.
That's cool though. That's
so
cool.
that's how you could save your ass.
I've never worked in any Juniper environment at all. Like even Aruba, I've worked with Aruba a little bit.
I never worked at Aruba.
Yeah, I worked with Aruba a little bit, but I've never worked with Juniper at all. One thing I like, have you worked with Cisco SD-WAN at all?
No, I never actually worked with SD-WAN.
Yeah. Cisco SD-WAN has a similar thing to that. So the Cisco SD-WAN that I'm working in is literally all template based. Like it has a CLI, but CLI is just for show commands. Everything is template based inside of
it's a GUI?
An application called vManage. What'd you say?
Is it a GUI?
Yeah, it's a GUI.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a GUI. It's a GUI. Yeah, and it's literally template based.
Okay.
So I mean, it's cool. It's easy to work in, but you know, you don't get those configuration skills that you have. But all the Catalyst switches that we have, those are all CLI based. So I mean, I still configure stuff inside of the regular CLI. But as far as SD-WAN, because the environment that I work in now is completely SD-WAN routers. There's no regular routers anymore. Yeah, completely SD-WAN routers. So
okay.
But it's been cool. It's been cool to work with. I guess I get a little bit more understanding with the technology and stuff. So even SD-WAN as a whole is still a little bit, kind of newer of a technology, but it's it's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've never worked in it myself, but that's the thing as a network engineer, you're not going to know every little sector of networking, right? And that's kind of when you do interviews, they're going to ask you questions sometimes that you've never even heard of,
right?
Ever. For example, when I interviewed at Cisco, they asked me, "Have you heard of VXLAN?" Right, and
that's the data center stuff.
Yeah, but for example, at Spectrum, I never had to deal with VXLAN. So I was like, VXLAN. Like, I don't know what this is, but obviously in the interview, I asked him, like, okay, I'm not really sure what VXLAN is. Can you kind of enlighten me on it? And one of my interview tactics is, as I asked him that question, right, I have my notepad and paper, and I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Right, and I visibly show that I'm taking notes, right, to show that like I'm a student, right, and that really helps. That's like a win. Even though you didn't answer the question correctly, it's still a win.
Yeah,
on the perspective of the interviewer.
People, they love people that are coachable. That's one thing. Like any job that you go to, even if you have no experience, even if you have all the experience in the world, you're still going to learn how to do the processes the way that the company wants you to do their processes. So a company always is going to love someone who is coachable, who is eager to learn and knows how to learn. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you can teach them a whole bunch of things, but they're not going to
is willing to learn.
Yeah, willing to learn. That's another thing. Being willing to learn, that's a huge thing. So I mean, that's a tip I should take right there.
I mean, a lot of the times companies they're looking for someone who's just willing to learn, and because the last thing they want to do is train you like multiple times, and that's a big issue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
Really good talk so far. Do you have any like closing words for anyone who's, I guess, who wants to be a network engineer, or just like any advice that you can give anyone?
Yeah, I mean, for me, really it's just, keep going, keep labbing, keep doing what you got to do to to understand the concepts, right? Networking, yeah, there's theory in networking, but networking pretty much is hands-on. You have to get the hands-on part of it, right? You can understand all of the the theory behind it. You can understand how IP addressing works. You can understand. You can do all the multiple choice, but if you don't have that hands-on, labbing or actual environment hands-on experience, it's going to be very hard for you to land that position that you want without that hands-on experience. Especially now, where what I'm saying, the tech market is a lot rougher than it once was, right? So if there's people who are out there who have thousands of dollars in labbing equipment, and you who just have your Network Plus, maybe a CCNA, if even a CCNA, yeah, you configure stuff, but maybe you have a CCNA, right? And you expect to actually know what to do at 3 a.m. when the network depends on you. No, you're not gonna have those skills if you haven't been actually labbing and broken stuff and fixed stuff, troubleshooting, just like what you said. So my main advice is keep on labbing. Labbing is gonna take you very far.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention is like there is going to be a time where you want to give up. I don't know if you've had that period. And you're going to want to say like, man, networking is hard. Yeah. Like maybe you're learning a concept. I remember when I was learning like NAT and PAT and dynamic, all that.
NAT, I'm sorry, man. NAT, PAT, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, learning that stuff, I mean, it makes sense, but it's just a pain.
It was a huge pain for me. And I was like, man, I would sit behind my desk and just be like, what am I, like, I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
It's not making any sense to me. Like, what is this? Like, remember how like inside global, outside global?
Yeah, inside global, outside global. And it's like, just making sure that you have the right one. Man, I get you on that. I get you on that. Even one thing, a lot of people shy away from these ACLs.
Oh, man. ACL was another area where I wanted to just, I was so like, it makes you, I'll be honest, network engineering can kind of make you like, upset, angry, frustrated, happy.
Yeah.
Like there's like different emotional states you go through, and one of the emotional states you go through is maybe you're trying to figure out a solution, you're trying to make it work, and then you could spend you could spend hours or a whole day trying to figure out why your pings are failing, especially when you're labbing, and it can get to the point where you're like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then you want to give up, right? You may say like, oh, networking is impossible to figure out. Those are the moments where if you give up there, you're giving up where you're almost over the hill.
Almost halfway there. Like you're really halfway there.
You're literally 90% of the way there, right? You did the hard part. Once you figure out a solution, you're gonna feel like you did it, right?
And that's the best feeling right there. When you've been working on something for so long, and you finally get those two nodes to talk. I'm like, man, there's no better feeling than that.
Even when you're working, you still get those great feelings. Like I remember I was troubleshooting something with this person for like 2 months trying to troubleshoot, right? Like so we're just going back and forth. Some days we take breaks because you don't want to even look at it. And we finally fixed it. And then you're like, damn, the issue was just that, right? You're like, this is just insane. But like, I'm happy, you especially when it's on a bridge call, you're like, hold up, I think it's working. Okay, it's working. Okay, wait, never mind, it's not. That's the worst feeling about it too. But I mean, it's great. And for all the people that are like trying to become network engineers, don't be afraid, right? I always tell them, don't be afraid of like making mistakes. Don't be afraid of feeling like you're a failure. Because I feel like, or feeling dumb too. You're gonna feel dumb every day, right? And just because you feel like you're not doing the right thing, just know that it's going to take time. And time is going to heal all your, whatever pisses you off whenever you're as a network engineer.
No, I agree. So, yeah, it's a very great field. It's a very rewarding field where there's a lot of earning potential. There's a lot of great things that come out of this field. So, I mean, just keep going for it. Don't give up. And, you have resources. Like there's online resources. You have Wali's channel. You have my channel. There's so many other great channels out there. So yeah, guys, I mean,
I mean, literally, like, I think we covered everything, guys.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast. Like I said, podcasts, I feel like we were able to have deeper conversations, and me and my boy Techychriss right here, like, both network engineers doing our thing right now. So I appreciate everyone joining on, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. And until next time, guys.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Thank y'all for watching.